Banaras, Delhi, Nepal, Hyderabad, Orissa. I was the vice president. And Prabhuji was in Bangkok, Thailand. And it's in Thailand, right, Mataji, where Bhakti Vikas Maharaj was? Thailand. It's in Thailand where Bhakti Vikas Maharaj also served. And I heard a narration from some disciples saying that Bangkok, Thailand was very infested with, not infested, it was very difficult place for any sannyasis to survive, and only one sannyasi who survived, I heard. Is that correct? That time he was not sannyasi, but Paradheya Prabhuji and Bhaktidas Maharaj was able to really resist the forces of the nature in Thailand and Bangkok. And that is, how long were you there, Mataji? 4 years? 6 years. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So I have some photos. I couldn't really bring it today, but I have good photos of Bhaktidas Maharaj. I was actually a young looking brahmachari at that time with Paradheya Prabhuji. They were all doing the preaching programs in Thailand, Bangkok. Next slide, please. And several other services. I had really difficult time putting it down, but I just noted down the key ones that Prabhuji recollected, and of course I consulted with Mataji. And he was, Prabhuji assisted Gopal-Krishna Maharaj in the Delhi temple, and of course Prabhuji was in Nepal, and Mataji and Prabhuji were the first to give Srimad Bhagavatam set to the king, the monarch of the Nepal at that time. And Jaipur, Orissa, and of course Gauragonda Maharaj. This is very wonderful. Everybody is very fond of Gauragonda Maharaj.
Thailand king also.
Thailand king, they distributed books. And Gauragonda Maharaj is a very exemplary, very high Bhagavat, and Prabhuji was helpful in Bhubaneswar temple, also with Tejas Prabhuji. And Prabhuji finished his assignments in India, and the assignments in India were several years. It's difficult to recount. And Balaram was gone, and they moved to Atlanta temple. What was the service in Atlanta temple, Mataji? Life member. And then New Orleans, North Carolina. And then Prabhuji was in this West Coast, San Jose. San Jose for how long, Mataji? How many years, do you remember? San Jose. And then Berkeley. Gosha Prabhuji, do you have any recollection of Berkeley?
They used to cook. I remember Mother Chaitanya and Paradheya would cook in the Berkeley temple and give class and the kirtan. Yeah, they were there. I would be, house programs they did also. Yeah, it was very nice. They're one of the Grihas, setting example as a Grihasta couple in Berkeley. I remember that. Yeah, it was very important.
Campbell?
Mataji used to cook in San Jose temple also initially.
Yeah.
Which year was it? Which year?
1999.
1999. Okay.
Yeah, when Rohini Kumar Maharaj was there in San Jose, she was also there cooking.
And then they moved to Sacramento in 2000 or in 2000, so they've been here for 19 years, and several devotees here. Prabhu, they can also speak later on, and the olden days. And next slide, please. So now I'll have His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. He has presented his offering to his guest Paradheya Prabhuji, and after that I will open up to the senior disciples of Srila Prabhupada, and they can present their offerings to Prabhuji. So on that. One second, I'll just play the audio.
Read that.
I have the audio.
Oh, you have audio? Okay, that's good.
Hare Krishna Paradheya Prabhu.
Please accept my obeisances.
Please accept my obeisances.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
I heard that it's your birthday coming up.
I heard that it's your birthday coming up.
On your appearance in this world, we are blessed.
By your appearance in this world, we are blessed.
You have served Prabhupada very sincerely.
You have served Prabhupada very sincerely.
And you have been an ideal example of a Krishna conscious person.
And you have been an ideal example of Krishna conscious person.
And then a responsible husband and father.
You have been a very responsible husband and father.
And always trying to help Prabhupada.
And you're always trying to help Prabhupada
To expand the preaching.
to expand the preaching.
We're very grateful that you are in Sacramento.
We are very grateful that you are in Sacramento.
And so many devotees are being helped by you.
And so many devotees are being helped by you.
I would like to be there personally to wish you a happy Appearance Day.
I would like to be there personally to wish you a very happy Appearance Day.
I'm not allowed to travel yet.
After my liver transplant.
So I'm sending this message to you.
So I'm sending this message to you.
And to help in the celebration.
And to help in the celebration.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So yeah, Paradheya Prabhu has always been very humble, and that's one thing that's appreciated about a devotee, because we see so many devotees who, sometimes they want to be number one. I'm the best kirtan leader, or I'm the best preacher, or I'm the best this or that. The ego, devotees, we all have egos. So what happens is Paradheya Prabhu actually was always humble, unsuspecting, very unsuspecting. And he was just very, very like this all the time. And that's one of the qualities we appreciate most about Paradheya Prabhu. He has always been like that. And also is that he still likes to do the kirtans. He still remembers all the nice kirtans, chanting, japa. And the spiritual side is always there, even now. So it's very wonderful. I remember in Calcutta, I used to see Paradheya Prabhu. That was in like 1970, sometime in 75. I remember I saw you there. You were traveling through. It might have been for the festival at that time. And but I didn't have a chance to associate with you because I was a brahmachari. I think you were married at that time. I was a brahmachari, so we would just keep distance from the grihastas. So I didn't get to take advantage of your association at that time. But now, as you can see, we're both grihastas. But yeah, I've noticed that ever since you've actually been here, you've always been trying and concentrating on trying to think about how to expand Krishna consciousness in Sacramento area. And it's very difficult, preaching is not an easy thing. So it isn't that, the Prabhupada said, even if you don't get a result, he said, don't be dismayed because you're trying to please Krishna. Preaching is a very difficult thing to do. So the thing is, and plus we don't always know what results are there in the long run. So the main thing is that just to keep plugging away, keep going on. You have the blessings here, Paradheya Prabhu, you have the blessings of Jayapataka Maharaj, and he wants to see that you continue on, you and Mother Chaitanya, and then associating with all the other devotees and giving them your help. We thank you for that. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone like to say a few words about Paradheya Prabhuji? Or I can go on to a few more letters to read. However you like to.
I think finish all that. Mother, come forward. Let's finish on the letter.
Hare Krishna. I'm Lalita Devi Dasi, initiated by Srila Prabhupada in 1974. And my life sort of went through lots of changes when my spiritual master left. Eventually I married my good husband, Dinabandhu Guru Das Prabhu. Illustration from His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj changed my life. And Bahusha changed my life. When I took my husband to the temple in 2004, I said, I want to get his association. And he said, well, we're homeschooling our children, we don't have time. But he actually eventually did give us his association, and we're so thankful. And he's the one that told us about Mother Chaitanya and Paradheya, and we ended up starting to go to their home. And their home, Paradheya once told me, he said, to get association, I just started preaching from my home. And then everyone came, and his preaching was by example. He has such sincerity and such humility, and it is such a hard thing to find in this world. And when you find it, it's such a gem. So we're all so fortunate to have had its associations, have it continuing at this point in our lives. And I'm internally indebted to this wonderful couple. And my Krishna consciousness and the Krishna consciousness of my husband are really completely connected to having associated with them, because they created a family environment and it enriched our lives so much. So, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Please, meanwhile, if anyone likes to collect their thoughts and come in front, I would really appreciate it. And now I'll read from Her Grace Manasaganga Devi Dasi. As you know, Mataji was here, she left a year ago to Portland, Oregon. And here she wrote to me, "Dear assembled Vaishnavas, my very few years in Sacramento were spiritually highlighted by the times I spent with Paradheya Prabhu and Chaitanya Mataji. Paradheya Prabhu, as I am sure, may have already mentioned how he was so instrumental in the opening of many temples and serving Srila Prabhupada through his entire adult life by encouraging so many devotees. Paradheya Prabhu, for me, exemplifies a devotee who trusts Lord Krishna and remembers Srila Prabhupada." Hare Krishna. Manasaganga Devi Dasi is a senior disciple of his Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Next slide. And this is a letter from His Grace Bhadra Balaram Das. He is an initiated disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj from Mayapur. He's been initiated almost more than 30 years. And he is a secretary to Maharaj, and he's also brother-in-law of Chaitanya Mataji. Very, very good devotees. And he's a letter, "Please accept my respectful obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. In Bhagavad Gita 13.8, Lord Krishna describes simplicity as one of the qualities that define knowledge. Again in Bhagavad Gita 16.1, Lord Krishna mentions simplicity as a quality of godly men endowed with divine nature. Anyone who knows your grace will agree that one of the many godly qualities you have, simplicity, is one that does not go unnoticed while dealing with you. The first thing that attracted me in my first meeting, this is 30 years ago, with you was your simplicity. It is more than 3 decades now since I first met you while looking for the temple president of local ISKCON temple in Surat, Gujarat. Prior to that, I had found and talked to a few devotees on Sankirtan bus, but it was Sri Radha Damodar temple visit that gave my life a definite turn. I remember meeting Her Grace Chaitanya Mataji there, who after talking to me for a while, took me to you, the temple president, then. I had come there with an intention to know how to become the devotee I had read about in Srila Prabhupada's books. His definition of a Krishna devotee had touched my heart, and living the life of a sadhu that I always aspired for was coming close to becoming a reality. However, where to start and how to become the devotee was a question in my mind. Next slide. And that's what I asked you that day before closing our talks. Your answer was simple. You said, "You could give me a japa mala and I can start chanting." Wow! I couldn't believe it was so simple. A few days later, you along with Her Grace Chaitanya Mataji and little Balaram were our guests, and I was handed a japa mala. Again your simplicity impressed me when he said, I needed to give 3 rupees for the mala, as only a spiritual master could give it free. I was impressed because these were some of the qualities I valued in saintly persons. As the time passed by, my dealings with you made me convinced that you were someone who I could trust in my spiritual journey. Your simple yet clear presentation of Krishna conscious philosophy and Chaitanya Mataji's affectionate and caring nature helped me conclude that ISKCON Sri Mayapur was my next destination. The beautiful part of your character is consistency. After spending 30 years in ISKCON, my impression of your saintly nature and my faith in your personal integrity remain unchanged. Having served in ISKCON directly under my spiritual master, His Holiness Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, I have seen and interacted closely with many stalwarts in our society.
Next.
Unfortunately, not all of them could live up to devotees' expectations. but I am glad to state that you are one of those devotees who I confidently count among Srila Prabhupada's honest followers. The austerities and difficulties you along with Chaitanya Maharaji have been through for spreading Srila Prabhupada's mission is commendable and inspiring. Your recent health setback is concerning when ISKCON is going through many challenges and the society needs more devotees like your grace who can present to the world Srila Prabhupada's teachings in a humble and effective way. Holding high offices does not ensure purity of heart, and without purity there is no real force. We pray that you get well soon and return to active preaching. Please forgive my offences and bless that we remain engaged in devotional service to Guru and Gauranga, your servant Bhakta Balaranga. The key point Prabhuji mentioned is the simplicity and able to trust Paradheya Prabhuji, and all of us can relate to it, able to trust Paradheya Prabhuji and giving our spiritual life to listening to Prabhuji. Please next slide. Dear Paradheya Prabhuji, Aladin Radha Devi Dasishi Mayapur. She is Mataji's sister, initiated in 1996. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to your glorious life full of Krishna consciousness. I remember I was 12 or 14 and you were visiting our Kolkata house. One morning you were speaking to me about Krishna consciousness and you started quoting and reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is. Since you were very senior, culture prevented me from saying anything or leaving, and again this is 30 years ago. However, in my mind I was wondering, why is he wasting his time like this? Mataji was 14 years that time. I was not going to be a devotee at that point, rather I was sure to pursue a successful career in administrative service, and this was due to the guidance of my elder brother. After many years I remembered this instance and I was thinking how sincere devotees of the Lord have faith in the scriptures and the process, and they follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, like our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, held the Gita classes at 2nd Avenue, matched his gifts to our friend, and most of the listeners' lives changed whether they heard attentively or not, or understood anything or not. Similarly, I strongly believe that Lord Krishna has mercifully bestowed His causeless mercy upon you, even at the stage of inattentive hearing, because you had so much faith in the words spoken by the Lord Himself. It had been one of the causes of bringing about a change in my life for pursuing the real goal of human life. So on this auspicious occasion of your birthday, I thank the Lord for making you part of our life as a family member. It is so rare to have the association of a Vaishnava like yourself. The devotees who were and are able to serve you are definitely very fortunate. You are such a faultless, non-envious person that you often reminded me of the practical meaning of the Sanskrit word Ajatashatru. Yudhishthira Maharaj was known as Ajatashatru, one who is devoid of enemies. And that is one of the most difficult things to be or achieve due to our immensely conditioned natures we all possess due to our own choices of karmas. However, you effortlessly uphold the qualities which prevents people from becoming your enemy. Whatever condition you are in, you are always Krishna conscious, something that generally many strive to achieve even some time during the day. Certainly you have achieved the mercy of the divine grace Srila Prabhupada. And it is not surprising from the attitude of humility and firm faith that you carry in your heart naturally and incessantly. We offer our prayers for your physical well-being, although I am sure that Krishna, being Surat of all, is especially taking care of you as you are His devotee. Please forgive any offences that I may have committed knowingly or unknowingly into you. Please bless me that I can become a Vaishnava in the real sense of the term. Hare Krishna, in service to Srila Prabhupada and his followers, your servant Haladini Radha Devi Dasi from Maya.
Yeah, next slide.
Hare Krishna, Paradheya Prabhuji, Dandar Pranam. Can you go next slide? Yes, sorry, yeah. This is Nandalal Prabhuji from Nandalal Prabhu was here in Sacramento several years ago. They are initiated disciples. They are one of those fortunate devotees who got into association with Mataji and Prabhuji, and they moved on, and now they are in East Coast, and they would like to offer their thanks and gratitude. We wish you a very happy Krishna conscious birthday. May Krishna bless you with a lot of happiness, success and good health. On this special day, we like to share our memories of how you have helped and guided us to be in the path of Krishna consciousness. I remember our first meeting with you and Mataji in Lakshmi Narayan temple. We were so happy when you invited us to attend the program in your home. This became turning point of our lives, and we were so fortunate to get your association every week. We have learned so many things from you. I remember that once during a conversation I had mentioned that I had read about Arjuna and mythology. You firmly showed your concern and corrected me to never say mythology. All Krishna Katha really and actually happened. It was not mythology. We were very much inspired from this and learned how to respect Krishna. We remember that you and Mataji never used to miss any preaching opportunity, even if there was no parking or bad weather, etc. You were a role model for us for how one can become pure Krishna devotee. We are really grateful to you and Mataji for helping and guiding us on the path of initiation and associating with Guru Maharaj. Wishing you once again very happy Krishna conscious birthday. May the Rani bless you so that others can get the good fortune of getting your association. Your servant Nandlal Gaudadas and Parivar. This is from His Grace Sham Madhusudan Das. You may have seen when His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj was traveling, he would always be present next to Maharaj and give the translations. Very good young brahmachari. Paradheya Prabhuji is a fatherly figure for all of us. Since the first day I met him in New Delhi, I always saw an exemplary mood of surrender and love for our Guru Varga in him. His desire to serve Vaishnavas is clear from the extreme sacrifices he has made along with Mother Chaitanya in 1979 when they met. Love and Nishtha in the Guru Tattva is the basis of our Nama Nishtha. Paradheya Prabhu's love for the Guru Parampara is clear by his seva attitude and his constant chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Despite his health challenges, Prabhu is completely absorbed in his Gurudeva and in chanting the holy names. He is setting an exemplary vision for all of us devotees. We may be taking our sadhana lightly nowadays, thinking that we are young and that we have to make the organization grow and grow and grow. But at the end of the day, it is only our degree of attachment to Guru and Krishna which will ensure our reaching Lord Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna mantra hoite have samsara mochana. Krishna nama hoite pave Krishnera charana. Kali kale name bina nahi a dharma. Paradheya Prabhu's Nama Nishtha is very inspirational for me. I pray to Paradheya Prabhu to please bless me with the great treasure Harinama Premadan. Your grateful servant, His Grace Sham Madhusudan. This is from Shama Kishore Prabhu. Shama Kishore Prabhuji was here. Please accept my humble obeisances and your lotus feet, all glory Srila Prabhupada. It is my great fortune to be able to provide a small offering on the divine occasion of your Vyasa Puja. Whenever I think of you, I am filled with awe and reverence. For me, you are a representation of Yudhishthira Maharaj, who always stood by righteousness and devotion to Krishna in pleasure and in pain. Just like Yudhishthira Maharaj, who is identified as one of the most beloved servitors of Sri Krishna, Haridasa Varya, in Srimad Bhagavatam and Mahabharata, he always chose to do what was right, what was dharma, what was desirable for Sri Krishna and Swami Prabhupada. You never chose to solicit anything for your personal gain or gratification, which meant external hardships for you and your family at certain times. But just like how Krishna was always present with Yudhishthira Maharaj and the Pandavas due to their selfless devotion, he is present with you and your family as well. The entire life of Pandavas was a journey of struggle, which when looked upon from a material vision is something undesirable. However, those imparted with spiritual vision can easily appreciate Krishna's divine plan and ignore the external considerations. For Pandavas, particularly Yudhishthira Maharaj, their lives were as blissful as they could be, simply because they were always remembering Krishna and therefore always associating with Krishna. I see you no different from them and wonder what piety I had done to be able to have association of personality who stands at their caliber in terms of surrender and devotion to Krishna. Prabhuji, you are the embodiment of unalloyed devotional service to Lord Krishna. without being affected by external environment and distractions, which we understand is a mere play of Maya Krishna's illusionary energy. Your unwavering conviction in Srila Prabhupada's mission and unflinching faith in the lotus feet of Sri Krishna is an inspiration for anyone who has come across you. Your contribution to spreading Srila Prabhupada's mission across different geographies has been unparalleled. Almost every successful project today in ISKCON had its foundation built and nurtured through your sweat and blood. I would like to conclude by saying that if we want to understand what Bhaktivinoda Thakur wants to convey through his prayer in Sharanagati, Manasa Deha Geha, we should look at your life and see how you are personifying each and every word. He says, Manasa Deho Geho Jo Kichu More Arpilutu Apade Nanda Kishore. Mind, body and family, whatever may be mine, I have surrendered at your lotus feet. O youthful son of Nanda, Sampade Vipade Jivana Madane, Dai Mamagela Tuavopada Barane. In good fortune or in bad, in life or at death, all my difficulties have disappeared by choosing those feet of yours as my only shelter. Maro Kobi Jo Icha Tohara, Nitya Dasa Pratit Tuva Dikara. Slay me or protect me as you wish, for you are the master of your eternal servants. I pray to Lord Krishna to continue showering His mercy to you and your family, and to bless you with unlimited prosperity, health and strength, so that you may continue delivering fallen souls by spreading Mahaprabhu's movement more and more. Your lowly servant Shamal Kishore Das, Bloomington, Indiana. Again, I kindly request if anyone would like to come forward and speak few words about.
Maybe you can just pass it around.
No, I think let them come
No,
here
no,
so
let them
everybody
come.
can see them. Yeah. Yes, come.
Lights, please.
Hare Krishna. And Chaili Thai. The letter of Balaram Prabhu, he talked about consistency of Paradheya Prabhu. Consistency is actually driven by strong faith. When Jesus Christ passed, 100 years after Jesus Christ passed away, his disciples began to preach the gospel of Jesus. And many of them were persecuted. As a matter of fact, one betrayed him, and then 10 were actually prosecuted and died. They were beheaded, some were crucified. So in other words, despite of persecution, because of their strong faith to Jesus Christ, then there was consistency. And because Paradheya Prabhu, because of your strong faith to the words of your spiritual master in Krishna, you have that consistency, and because of that consistency, you touch so many hearts and change the lives of a lot of people.
Jai.
Yeah. And thank you very much for your service to Srila Prabhupada, to Lord Krishna, and to humanity at large. Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, your name. Some don't know who you are.
Have a seat, Guru.
You can sit down.
Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavnebhyo namo namaha. My name is Krishna Chaitanya Das. I am the godbrother of His Grace, Paradheya. I was initiated in 1975, both first and second. One day Parvati asked Lord Shiva, of all the types of worship which is the best? And Lord Shiva replied to her, of all the different types of worship, Vishnu Arad, worship of Lord Vishnu is the best. But, Tadiya, better than that is the worship of the pure devotee, the Vaishnava of the Lord. My dear God brother, I want to thank you for the service that you have given, not only to Srila Prabhupada, but to so many countless fallen souls. In my heart, I think you understood what Prabhupada meant when he was talking about matchless gifts. Matchless gifts is the power to give someone Krishna. Just like Prabhupada came and gave us Krishna. But that is not easy. You have to be able to recognize what is being offered and to take it up seriously. And my dear God brother, I want to thank you very much. This is something that you did, and you took up Srila Prabhupada's mission, and you have given so much service to him and Lord Chaitanya. And that is the whole purpose of him coming to the West. Before Prabhupada came, we didn't know Krishna. We didn't know much about Krishna. But by his grace, and by your grace also, many are beginning to know and understand Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hello, my name is Hugo, and back in the 1970s, when I was a young boy, I remember seeing some Krishna devotees in an airport chanting, and I thought, that's very strange. And then many years later, in the 90s, my wife introduced me to John and his wife, and so I would say John would be the first Krishna devotee that I ever met. And I'm very pleased that I've met him. Happy appearance day, John, and many blessings to you.
Hare Krishna, and please come on. Hare Krishna, this is Kelly Mataji, who has been very powerful devotee recently, has joined us, and Chaitanya Mataji and Paradheya Prabhuji have been associating, and today she had made a garland for Prabhuji, and she would like to speak a few words.
Paradheya Prabhu, I know I haven't known you very long, but I have enjoyed the time that I have known you. I enjoy the time that we have sat together, chanting, studying Bhagavad Gita, and in the short time I feel like you're a father that I never had. So thank you for everything. Thank you for your service to ISKCON, to me, to everybody, and happy birthday, Papa.
Hare Krishna from everyone.
Hare Krishna.
My name is Mantri. I am from Folsom. As I remembered from in 2007, I met Mataji and Prabhuji. They was coming into Folsom chanting. That time we was having the program in the park, and we was coming and gathering there. And from there onwards, I got their mercies, and many of us from the Folsom became him in the Krishna consciousness movement. They joined into Krishna consciousness movement. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna blessed me with association with Prabhu and Mataji. When I first came here, we used to go to Berkeley because there was nothing here. And it was very difficult to go every Sunday with children all the way to Berkeley, although it wasn't that bad as it is now. And he answered my prayer and gave me Mataji and Prabhu's association. I think it was end of 99, 2000, somewhere around there, when they opened up the home for everybody. There are no words to describe on this material platform the wonders of Prabhu and Mataji. They have touched so many souls, and they've worked as a team. So we see Prabhu all the time because he's a very humble person, and so we gravitate to him and his humbleness. But behind every great man, there's also a great woman. And Mataji, thank you for taking such good care of Prabhu, especially at this time when this could be the hardest time for any person to have to take care of another person. But she is doing it tirelessly. Prabhu, you are a very lucky boy.
Never has anything been so correct.
What is this already? Nothing has been so correct.
So we will talk about that when Mataji is not.
Hare Krishna. Maybe first I gave an introduction. It's my turn to offer my respects and my gratitude to Paradheya Prabhuji. And here we have those beautiful Sri Radha Govinda. And if you see the dresses are actually, they're not bought, Mataji stitched them. This is one of those 4 or 5 pairs Mataji has, and there are probably 20-30 pairs at home. And I have several pictures I couldn't show, but I would like to take an opportunity to show the altar. The altar was built by Bharat Prabhuji and Mataji is there. They both spent several months designing, looking for the right material, and I couldn't really, I have many pictures. This is probably the best I have at the moment. My camera wasn't working properly to download the pictures. But this is like a 4-month effort with the materials and designs, and they tried different designs, and that is the level. And Prabhuji was extremely busy at that point, and they took the time out to design, and that is the offering from Prabhuji. And he's very shy. Prabhuji doesn't want to say anything. The altar there, Prabhuji. The altar. The right side, sorry. The right altar. The steps and everything. So let me. Radha Govinda, and this is Radha Govinda of Mataji, and this is, I feel like this is Radha Govinda I will find one day. I'm very confident that this is Mataji's and Prabhuji. As Mataji said, Chaitanya Mataji is behind Prabhuji, but it's very difficult to say who's behind who, and that's how they both are like armed with machine guns of love, and who shoots a bullet you never know, but it comes from that apartment, and nobody can despair of it. It is just impossible to understand who is the most loving personality in the house. And one says, Mataji has 100 words in a minute, Prabhuji says 100 words in a year. But both of them has that enormous potency. Even it is just unbelievable. I'm joking. It is actually, I'm captivated by both of them, and I have got into too much trouble for being too much loyal to Mataji and Prabhuji from my house. And I'm not trying to be very casual about it. I mean, this is not simple words of, and I've been for, please give me the opportunity to speak a little bit more, because I really owe them both tremendously, and I owe them both more than anybody else, even more than my parents, I would say, because they have given me the Krishna consciousness in my heart. And I am like Nandalal Prabhu, who met Mataji and Prabhuji at Lakshminarayan temple, and it was the afternoon I met them, and the Mataji was refusing to take money for the Bhagavad Gita, and the next $5 is the ticket I paid to be trapped by Mataji, and that's it. And at Saturday I come, and my wife and I are in Krishna consciousness moment since then. And the greatest part I like to note is that Chaitanya Mataji is always quietly sitting behind, but it's impossible to assess her ability in spreading Krishna consciousness. And there are so many devotees in Sacramento that Prabhuji and Mataji have brought to the movement. And Paradheya Prabhuji, as I said, it takes a lot of time to get to hear Paradheya Prabhuji, but Paradheya Prabhuji's words are very powerful, and Shravan Prabhuji can speak on it. His words are loaded with potency. Gauravan Maharaj says that don't speak empty words. Empty words means the words do not carry any potency, and speak words that have the potency to reach your heart, and that is Paradheya Prabhuji. Last year I came here and spoke. I read some of this information, but within even a year associating with Prabhuji, I have to sometimes request Prabhuji to say a few words, and just few words is enough to alter the own direction of my Krishna consciousness. And I have benefited so much. And ISKCON Sacramento, right now the position is we are all meeting together and we are cooperating, and that I believe is because we are no longer a shallow organization. We have the divine consciousness in the organization. That is because of Paradheya Prabhuji and Mataji, and we are all meant to go forward, and we really seek all Mataji Prabhuji's blessing. And thank you all of the Srila Prabhupada disciples and senior devotees for coming here. We really sincerely seek that. And I'd like to make next slide. I'll probably take 2 more minutes. Next slide. Just quickly, this is just a snapshot of how many devotees. We struggle to give books, but Mataji gives chanting beats, and it's not only, this is just a sample, and there are at least 10 devotees who have left Sacramento, and they're calling constantly. Your phone is ringing constantly because everybody needs some counselor, and that is because Paradheya Prabhuji and Mataji are always there with their weight. It's the gravity, just like the gravity of the Mother Earth, and that's how they are building the congregation. And one quick last simple notes on Paradheya Prabhuji. Paradheya Prabhuji, I really thank you, and I cannot ask Krishna for even one more blessing, because Paradheya Prabhuji has given me extremely unimaginable, so much he has given me that I have nothing more to ask. All I have to do is work on what Paradheya Prabhuji has given me, and that is so much I owe Paradheya Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And I don't want to make a scene here, but I really thank you so much, Prabhuji, and of course Chaitanya Mataji, you know my mood, and I really thank you so much, and we all thank you so much for this. And one quick note, just to say, the other day Paradheya Prabhuji was walking in the congregation. This is the last of the many pastimes, and there was actually numerous pastimes of Paradheya Prabhuji, that certain things I can't even share because that Paradheya Prabhuji may not like it. But one of this is Paradheya Prabhuji was walking, this was like a week ago, and Paradheya Prabhuji was walking, and in the apartment complex there was a snooker table. And some young man was playing very ferociously by himself. And the balls, the snooker tables or billiards, they make so much sound. And Paradheya Prabhuji walked in, and he got little, the loudness bothers everyone. And Paradheya Prabhuji, stop it. Who is that making sound? Just a simple statement. And that man got rattled, and he got very angry, and he started shouting at Prabhuji. And then he's shouting so much, because he was stressed out. And he started shouting so much that the operators or the office secretaries, they had to come and intervene, and Mataji had to request saying that he's an elderly man, please forgive him, leave him, but he was not to be stopped. And he was going on and on. This was happening at around 10 p.m. in the afternoon. And that, long story short, and Mataji said this is not the time to be here because he is getting extremely offensive, wouldn't stop cursing Prabhuji, and Prabhuji was of course quiet, and they both walked out. And then Mataji went home, of course all the activities, and at 10 o'clock she had to go run for a store and come back. That same person was stabbed during an altercation, due to an altercation with somebody, and he was in an ambulance walking. And it is amazing that he was going past Mataji just in a few minutes, and he was going by he was on a stretcher going to the ambulance. Mataji was passing by, and he saw his exact face. And what's the coincidence? What a coincidence at 10 o'clock in the night that you pass by the person. That complex is around 1,000, 2,000 apartments there. And she was like, oh my God, let me really run away because somebody else relates the incidents to me or something, and she had to just walk off. And that is Paradheya Prabhuji. He is potency personified. It is difficult to really make him smile by glorifying me. Any amount of glorification will not please Paradheya Prabhuji. He was even reluctant to come today. What is going on? This is an unusual thing. That's how Paradheya Prabhuji. Just impossible to put a smile by glorifying him. You can try at 2 o'clock in the night, any day, it's impossible. And that is the glory of Vaishnavas. And we should all be very pleased and very thankful to having them in this congregation. And forgive me for talking too much. I really owe them too much. And last year I didn't speak much, so I felt very bad for not paying it. And thank you for giving me the opportunity, Vaishnavas. And thank you. Yes, Mataji?
Never do politics.
Yes. I have numerous instructions, very golden instructions. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Want to say something? We have Aarti, 8 o'clock here.
Let other people say. Okay. You can wait for Aarti. Let other people say.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let other people say. People want to say.
Yeah, I want to say too. I'm also people. Yeah. Hare Krishna. like Lord Prabhu just said, I was also unconscious of Krishna consciousness. And we were enjoying the material world. Chaitanya Mataji knows very well. We had 2 daughters by then. And we somehow come across, we've been here in this Sacramento area for 22 years. And Chaitanya Mataji and Paradheya Prabhu met almost 15, 16 years ago? 16, 17 years? I don't know how long now. So, since then, you can imagine how materialistic we were, and today we are standing in front of here and glorifying a Vaishnava. It's unimaginable by any means. It's all happened because of Paradheya Prabhu's and Chaitanya Mataji's association. Actually, to narrate some instances, like Paradheya Prabhu used to come visit our home back then in almost 15, 16 years ago, when Mataji used to teach the Kathak to my daughters. And we used to sit each other on the same table, we used to share for 1 hour, and he would be chanting, and I'm just wondering, what is this guy doing and what is he chanting? What is this? I couldn't believe, but I think those association, there was no conversation happening during that time, but that has changed my life. I can't even imagine. I became a Krishna consciousness. I started taking interest in Srila Prabhupada's movement, and I don't know what happened, but I think any credit you want to give it to Paradheya Prabhu and Chaitanya Mataji. You want to say? Lalan Prabhu. Lalan.
Another initial
Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna. Wait, hold on.
It's very hard to talk about Paradheya Prabhu without getting emotional. I would try to separate it. But Prabhuji, I have said it many times. We have always felt your presence. You are the soul that has touched us so deeply, to all of us. Some lighter note I will go because everybody has said so much about it. And if I say so, I would be repeating it. So, after his, when his health became bad, and when he came from Mayapur one time, me and Paradheya Prabhu were just walking, he and me. And he mentioned an incident about 3 years back. You can think about his state of mind. He's not doing so good. He mentioned, and he said that, Prabhuji, I know I have offended that person. I want to say sorry to him. To me, he said, I want to say sorry to him. I felt like, my God, I offend 3 people a day. More you know about him, there's so many things. Each day I have association with him, I have learned something. It's amazing how much he has touched. When he had something, he was same person. Today also, he's the same person. It's so beautiful to see Chaitanya Mataji holding Paradheya Prabhu walking on the street. That richness, I don't know how many of you have. I don't have that. And that richness comes from purity. When Paradheya Prabhu played the mridang, it is so mild. Because it is his nature who represent. You cannot become like that in a day. I want to become like that. I don't know if I want to become like that. I am sorry. I would keep that bitterness in me, that dark spot I have. I cannot think that I can be pure like that. I won't survive. I'm scared. I would be scared. But Paradheya Prabhu has always. Yeah, there is Chaitanya Mataji and Paradheya Prabhu. They're amazing. Like as I told you, it's so beautiful thing. So something. So one time we were there and something happened. So Chaitanya Mataji was saying something, and I was new, right? So Chaitanya Mataji went out. He said. So this good time. I learned how beautiful as a couple they are. But as the time passed, it confirmed that relationship that I find is very beautiful, it's very rich. I don't know anybody else other than Brother Bhu and Chaitanya Mataji.
Hari Bol, I'm Shravan.
Jai Shravan.
One of the things he missed was that Paradheya Prabhu is a great soldier, English soldier, combination with mother from Bengal. This is on behalf of him. All right.
This is Srila Prabhupada said.
Srila Prabhupada said. So this is, how about you both? Or?
Bengali mother
Okay.
is for love and English soldier for the preaching and the
Hari Bol. So, anyway, Paradheya Prabhu has been a great influence in my life. Although I haven't learned much, hopefully one day I'll be able to follow him. I have learned but unable to, I guess, follow completely. He is exemplary in following the third prayer, from Sikshashtakam, Trinadapi Sunichena. And he really is the perfect example of that, if you want to learn something about that verse. So,
even today, in spite of his memory, I mean, he's getting, better and better every day. In spite of his memory, last week he did the Harinam Sankirtan. Was it last week, 2 weeks ago? Harinam Sankirtan completely, from here to Whole Foods and back. And nobody had to assist him as much as we used to, maybe just once in a while. So I'm really happy for Prabhu is getting well. Anytime, even though you might think he doesn't have memory, if you have a problem, explain to Prabhu and he'll give you the perfect answer related to Krishna consciousness. So far I haven't gotten a wrong answer. So don't be afraid, please approach him. I know you have to go through Mataji. It's not always easy. But go through Prabhu. Go to Prabhu, please. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Again, as we are talking on the lighter mode, when you read the Bhagavatam, you will see that there are so many combinations from the Varnashram system that Kshatriya wife and Brahman husband, or Brahman wife and Kshatriya husband. So this is a combination of Kshatriya wife and Brahman husband. So I think a perfect combination. So a couple of things I would like to just take again what he was saying, Alan Prabhu, that I also remember that when he came back from India, when he was not feeling well, he came alone. Mataji was there, and he was. I don't think I was part of whatever happened at that time. I was part of it. I know he did not make any mistake, but he still came and said, okay, no, take me there, take me there. I want to say sorry. I want to say sorry, and I know that okay, he did not do anything wrong, but he is still like his humility. I could see that when he was ready to go to any level. If somebody has felt offended, it's not okay, I have done something wrong, but if other person has felt wrong, I am ready to go and then say sorry to that person. So that type of humility, I don't think I have seen anybody anywhere. And 12 years back, 10, 11 years ago, when we started going to Mataji's house and Prabhuji's house, a lot of people say that, okay, my home is Krishna's house. It is not my house. I also say, but again, I know that, okay, no, it is my house, it's not Krishna's house. But at the same time, first time I realized, okay, when we used to go there on Sundays, my kids were very small, and we used to thrash his house. I have never seen even a small wrinkle on both of their face. And when I'm also Kshatriya, I'm also a very angry person, so I used to angry on my kids and other kids also. She always used to come and say, no, let them play. And it is their house. They really made it temple. I don't think I have seen anywhere anybody making their home temple, not by saying, by just showing it, okay, like how the temple should be at home, doing everything for us. We were going there, eating it, coming back, and then Mataji Prabhuji for a whole week, they were just cleaning it to get ready again for next week, for kids to come and thrash it.
Week after week.
Yeah, exactly. So I totally, we are really very fortunate to have his association. I have offended Mataji a number of times. I offended all of you many times, but I cannot think of offending Paradheya Prabhu because I don't see any difference between the Bhagavatam, we call it like a book Bhagavatam, and the person Bhagavatam. Till I was having his association actively, I did not read any books because I knew that, okay, I am associating with the Bhagavata directly, I don't have to read any book. So, anytime if you have association, I know that Guna Prabhu is very, very fortunate, Swaram Prabhu is very fortunate, they're having a lot of association. But if you can't read, just see him, follow him. You don't need to read any book because you have Bhagavatam in front of you. Hare Krishna.
I want to say one more thing.
All right.
Okay, only one small incident, Mataji. This is about Mataji. And
30 seconds.
Okay, 30 seconds. Count now. So, the kids and the way we were utilizing their houses, okay? So one time, in one of the room, you all must be knowing, so there were two beds. and there were 4 kids. My daughter was there, Bharat Prabhu's daughter were there, Nandalal Prabhu's daughter were there, and one more kid. So what these kids were doing is that 2 kids were on the bed and they were jumping to other bed. So it's kind of really trashing a house, right? And I was in the guest room. Chaitanya Mataji comes. When they see the Chaitanya Mataji come and they are jumping from one bed to other bed, those kids get really scared and they start saying sorry or apologizing. She wait for 1 minute or something, assess her house or whatever, and she said, "Go play. It's a Krishna house. Don't apologize. So keep on playing." And that is what I heard when I was sitting next.
30 seconds.
So that's it.
I think I know some of you want to speak more and Mataji wants to speak, but let's discuss. Should we do Aarti and then do Prasadam? Because some of us will have to travel back to Berkeley, correct? So, Chaitanya Mataji, you can.
Can everybody eat?
Yeah, that time, yeah. Okay. So let's do a quick Aarti, and we won't do elaborate, but let's do a small Aarti. Is that fine? Yeah, okay.
And Lolita Mataji singing.
You're going to sing?
Sing a prayer.
Come.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Ki bajayo